We have with us Mr. Asheesh Pandey, and we'll talk about the credit outreach program which is being conducted here. My first question to you is, you already have clocked in more than 20% lending growth as far as the current numbers are concerned. Now, why do you do all these programs? It is more of because you want to reach out to public, and is there any particular target also when you do this kind of outreach program? How much you have got, any commitment, any disbursals? Can you update on that?
Sure. Actually, when you are talking about, the first point which you raised is basically on the credit growth of the Bank of Maharashtra. Yes, it is a fact. We are growing at a very good rate, a reasonable rate, and we are also ahead of the curve. But at the same time, let me assure you that the outreach we started from the first week of the May 2022, when just after we had our result, annual result on 20th of April. So basically, this may be one of the reason that we are, would have conducted more than 100 the outreach programs. So maybe, because see, it is not only the credit growth, I would say it is only the quality of the asset as well.
Right.
So in this outreach program, you get to assured that you are disbursing quality assets.
Definitely.
Number one. Number two is that when you create an outreach, so you have a reach, you have a branches and offices, and you are about to reach to your customers. But this outreach give you three basic, the advantage, I should say, competitive advantage. The first is the quality of assets. The second one is that because you do all the things, people are also coming, and then sanction letter you are disbursing, so the actual person who is availing is in front of you. The second one is that you take the original feedback from the customers, that how was the TAT, whether the bank is done well, whether the bank has visited them. So you come to know the internal process also, how the things are happening in the bank. Now, whether the things are getting delayed, whether timely decisions are done or not done,
right,
whether the policies and the guidelines are adhered to or not. The third very important thing is that we also have an interaction of almost 30 minutes, 40 minutes with the customers. So the third important point we come to know is that what suggestion they have. So, like the fourth, your question was whether it was targeted. Yes. So some of this, where I have done this Tirupur, Coimbatore, I can very well tell,
Okay.
Ichalkaranji, Kolhapur, and maybe Agra, which is a glass cluster. And today here, rice mill, what I came to know about Shahpur. So what happens in this outreach, we also meet specific, like Morbi. So
Right.
Morbi, if you take, it is basically related to tiles and the watches.
right.
So you come to know the real background of the customers, what actually they need, how they want scheme to be devised. So you can be very specific and targeted, and you can really make a dent in a particular area.
Definitely.
So probably this would be the reason why the Bank of Maharashtra is trying to do a bit better.
Right. As far as the current scenario is concerned, the interest rates are rising, and it may rise further as per the RBI policy, which is due in February now. Now, in current environment, the biggest problem of banks is the gap between deposit growth and credit growth. You have already clocked 21% as far as the provisional numbers are concerned. How you are going to garner deposits?
Yeah, see, if one good thing which I always thank in this outreach program also, it is a trust and belief and loyalty of our customers, Bank of Maharashtra customers. So if you see, typically my CASA is in the range of 50 to 54%, which is average. So that is the real good base of the customer which Bank of Maharashtra is having. Point number one. Point number two, the Bank of Maharashtra, as decided by the board, is now opening a branch in each of my district, pan-India. So 150 branches we have opened this year. Again 150 will be opening prior to this also.
Okay.
So the target what we are doing, like as you are targeted sort of, the focus sort of business. So we are targeting actually minimum 10 to 15 crore for a new branch opening. Now in that, suppose I'm just as a thumb rule, if you target the CASA as a 10 crore, maybe 8 to 10 crore business. So what happens, suppose if you open 100 branches, so 100 into the 10, it creates a good. Now third thing is that the Bank of Maharashtra is giving a very personalized, professionalized, both I would say, professional and a personalized service to the governments, various governments in India, state governments and central governments. So we are also, thankful to the patronage of the various governments. So we try to give them the even softwares, or we can give the MIS, the reconciliations, and specific people tied up to the account for relationship, so that if anything is required, it can be done timely. So probably the combination of these 6-7 things and our staff, which I always say is a very important stakeholder, that creates a very good ecosystem where it becomes conducive, that even though you are continuing with, say, the guidance of, say, 20, 22, 23% of credit growth, and somewhere 18-19% of deposit growth. And what I would say, the one more important thing is the credit deposit CD ratio. So Bank of Maharashtra typically used to be in the range of, say, 68 to 69% CD ratio. So we had enough headroom to move to 76 level. So we are in the 76 level, still as per the guidance given by the bank board and our various analyst meet also. So we are actually do not foresee any issue till 78-79% of the CD ratio.
So you are talking about the current financial year, the 78, 80 probably may be achieved in the current financial year. And what about the deposit growth and credit growth? What would be the numbers?
Credit growth, what actually, the earlier September also, during the press meet, my MD Saab has already indicated that we endeavor, I should not say we give any guidance sort of, because there are big players and various players. But what we try to do, we try to improve ourselves.
Right.
So in that way, with the focused approach, the bank is trying that to have the credit growth in the range of, say, 20 to 22% in that range, and the deposit also in the range of, say, around 15 to 16% range. So this is what range bound plus minus 2% we are looking to going forward.
After the recent fundraise which happens a few time back, is there any plan for raising funds? Have you also asked government once again to put in some funds, or are you going to sustain yourself?
Yeah, very good question. I think the earlier, in the analyst meet also, because press and analyst meet is one which we can always quote upon. It is a something, the information which is in public. So already we had tier 2 and tier 1 twice, and we got, with all support of our customers and stakeholders, we could get it subscribed within no time and at a very good rate. So we ourselves, if you see that we are above 17 level of around capital adequacy, and recently we conducted even the tier 1. So that is, I think we are comfortable with the range, but then as a board, already the approval is in place, and already it is being informed, to earlier also analysts, that around 5,000 total bucket and approval has been obtained. So as far as the comfortable on the liquidity and on the side of the capital adequacy, the bank is self-sufficient. But then always options are open, how you want to augment it further for next maybe 3 to 6 months time. So that options are always open, and the bank may explore going forward, depending upon the situation, exigencies, and market conditions.
Understood. Very well said. Last question, which I guess many times it has been asked to you ever since the privatization of 2 banks were announced. There was never a name which was given, but that has been off the shelves as far as the practicality or implementation is concerned. Have you got, again I would ask, any intimation from government, information from government regarding the same?
See, actually it is the government, the owner for all the banks is the owner, the stakeholder certainly, and the regulator is the Reserve Bank. So I would not say anything on those lines, but only one thing we can say today, that the bank is adequately capitalized. Capital is good, profitability wise bank, last if you see till September, for almost 7 to 8 quarters, bank is doing good. If you take the efficiency parameters, because we always, if you see my MD also and my colleague ED and my board, always we speak on the efficiency parameters. So if you take a net NPA, which is 0.68, if I am not wrong, for my September quarter, and my net NPA, the gross NPA is also well below the level. The ROA, we are somewhere inching about 0.8, we foresee in a similar range. And if you see the cost to income ratio is below 40, which is one of the best. So what we foresee ourselves in Bank of Maharashtra, on 2 grounds, left hand side, I would say, on one side my customers, which are very loyal and the trustworthy. Another is my staff. On another count, improving the efficiency, we would like to be a, like, the good player in the market, rather than moving into the whether what is going to happen further. But then up till now, as per the press and the other thing,
Self-sustenance is the best thing.
Best thing.
Okay, I got the message. Thank you so much for talking to us.
Thank you.